Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, and it's a strange day out there. I forgot to pop up the live chat. Make sure everybody's okay. Yes, there they are. Hello, gang. Thank you all for joining. The market is a little bit weak today. We just came off 64,000. Bitcoin fell about 2,000 because we know die Deutschen verkaufen alles jetzt now. Sorry, the Germans are selling their Bitcoin now, as maybe the U.S. government and others, and that's putting a little bit of a headache on top of the Bitcoin price. Dude, Travis, thank you for coming. And thank you to Sean Donnelly and TT Tesla for being here in the chat. I'm going to go real fast today because today is a super busy day for me. And let's jump in. Thank you all for coming. So, first of all, this video is called Retail is Back, and there is some good news despite what others may think. And this is not financial advice. Let's get into the little bit of Bitcoin news first, see what's going on. First of all, Bitcoin monthly returns. This was actually positive. It was up 2% yesterday for the month of July, and now it's 0%. By the way, June was down 6.8% for the month. So far this year, January up, Feb up, March up, April down 14%, and May up 11.5%, June down 6.8%, and of course, flat so far. But if you look at historic cycles that are highlighted, like 2020, it's normal for things to be very volatile. Well, 2020 was a special year. But if you go back to 2016, which is more of an analog to what we're going through now, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 negative months. So far, we have had 2. So if history repeats, we'll have 2 more negative months. And then we all know the best part is yet to come in the second half. And that's just a pattern. So let's go. First of all, in Captain Obvious news from you today, Bitcoin price likely to hit new all-time high in 2024. I mean, Anglo Blacks and thanks for coming. Who writes these bloody titles? They're so stupid, it's unbelievable. But in more logic, this is from Tom Lee. And Tom Lee gets on CNBS, and he is the managing partner at equity research firm Fundstrat. And he is solid, really solid. But he does believe that Bitcoin could hit $150,000 by the end of this year. And he believes there are 2 major tailwinds that will propel Bitcoin success. One is the spot ETFs, which started a Bitcoin price surge a few months ahead of the Bitcoin halving. Now we're getting the chopsolidation, but that'll come back. Also, the halving of the minor rewards has driven price up historically, and institutional adoption. He sees more of this happening, more MicroStrategy lookalikes, and as we go forward, and easily he sees Bitcoin as a $2 trillion asset class. So this is super bullish. But remember, if you look at the all-time high, 73.8, you double that. That's 150. Can Bitcoin double in 6 months? The answer is yeah, it's done more than that in the past. So again, it sounds unrealistic, but theoretically, Tom Lee knows his stuff. And he has made projections before, and they've been bang on. Really impressive guy. So don't fade the Tom. Thank you, Tom, for all you do. In addition, this is a huge IPO. Northern Data eyes $16 billion IPO. And I hear you ask, who the heck is Northern Data? Well, this is a German Bitcoin miner. And Northern Data AG is reportedly seeking an IPO for 2 of its entities in the US at a valuation of up to $16 billion. This is massive. This will be one of the biggest miners, if not the biggest, out there. It's also Europe's largest Bitcoin miner by market cap. And they're talking to a whole bunch of players to IPO sometime early 2025. So keep your eye on that. In Costa Rica news, could this be the next El Salvador? We're not sure. But 380 businesses in Costa Rica now accept Bitcoin. Costa Rica is a very big tourist place for global wanderers and warriors, and it's a great place to go. At least I haven't been there in a while, but it used to be a fantastic place. But now it's become very, very Bitcoin friendly. Let's get into the charts. We have a lot of charts, some exciting ones to show you today. First of all, fear and greed, little bounce, little tiny retracement, but overall we're back to 50, wage or 51, I think. Way off the lows at 30. And remember, when Bitcoin goes low, it's a good time to buy. In other good news too, Bitcoin exchange reserves hit a 3-year low. This is from Crypto Quant. And again, we'll see where this goes. But obviously, exchange reserves will continue to fall as the ETFs gobble up more Bitcoin. We'll see what retail investors are doing with self-storage, if they're going to go the ETF route or going to self-custody themselves. We'll see. Also, this is the really good big news, and hence the video title today. You know, we had this whole sell in May, go away that I didn't kind of buy into. We've been very flat since then, but some technology stocks have been on fire. But some believe, the Ali Charts, for example, believes sell in May, go away is officially over. Bitcoin retail investors are returning, with new Bitcoin addresses hitting a 4-month high of 432,026 addresses. And this is good news, because I was very concerned that this had become just an ETF game and a hedge fund playing the carry trade, etc. But it's great to see retail investors are back. And I was wondering who was buying up the dips to 60K. Not only was it the Mr. 100s of the world, a lot of big whales, but also good to see retail back too. But guess what else is back? Money printer. This is from Cole Garner. The biggest Fed net liquidity rate of change spike in a year and a half. Last time this happened, Bitcoin rose 40% in 1 week. We don't assume that's going to happen again, but again, money is coming back, and money floats all boats. Ema, thank you as well for coming. So this is exciting, and as I've been forecasting, there will be a lot of money printing in the second half of 2024, which will be great. And that, combined with rate cuts, will also be great, because people will be seeking alpha in different ways. In other good news too, I did say this last week, and now this chart confirms it. In the past 72 hours, miners did sell about 2,000 Bitcoin, but that's about 140 million. But they've stopped. July 1st, 2nd, etc. completely stopped. So it looks like all the selling, all the capitulation happened back in June. July should be plain sailing. We still have a dip right now because, as I mentioned at the beginning, the Germans are selling. U.S. government might be selling a bit too. But the stacking is happening. We'll get to that with the ETF data in a second as well. Now, this is from Jelly, and I love this little chart. It really puts things in perspective. The best charts are the simplest charts. We've had 4 months of preparation, 4 months of building pressure for the next leg up, 4 months of shaking out the weak hands, 4 months of people taking off their lifestyle chips. But if you look at this chart historically, during a bull run, you do get this 90-day, 120-day consolidation. But after that, a big move typically happens. And that move is not downwards. It is upwards. The question is when. So we have all the catalysts happening right now. Got to get rid of the German and US sellers. There might be a little bit of Mt. Gox selling. But remember as well, a lot of the FTX people are getting 120% of their money back. And they will be deploying into guess what? Well, we'll see. Also, Bitcoin playlist will be here at the very end of this video. Let's jump into some of the Bitcoin black hole stuff as well. Now, despite the sentiment that, oh, the ETFs are dead and everything else, no, not at all. This is from Eric Balchunas. And he was surprised to check in on the Bitcoin ETFs and see that they'd actually had net positive flows for not only the 1 day period, the 1 week period, and the 1 month period. He was expecting worse given the kind of consolidation for Bitcoin price. But during that stretch, year-to-date net flow held steady at $15 billion approximately. And given that the number held strong during a step-back phase, it's a very good sign. Daus Fam, thank you for coming. So again, it's summertime. Things are slow in the summer, but this was a very, very positive sign. In addition, another view of the ETF flows, U.S. states-based spot Bitcoin ETFs recorded significant daily inflows of 130 million yesterday. And that was the 5th consecutive day of positive flows. Let's look at the day 119 raw numbers. Big flow into Fidelity, a big flow into Bitwise, pretty big for ARK, and nothing out of Grayscale. Grayscale didn't bleed, and it's unusual for that to happen, so that's a win. In terms of the macro update, things are creeping back up, especially the green. Watch Fidelity carefully. BlackRock had a big buy last Friday, and they'll come back this week too. They like to do a lot of market making behind the scenes during the week, but then eventually they do deploy and buy big. Now, we have the 5th positive day in a row. Not huge blue candles, but nonetheless, they are there. And the money trend, the red line, is going back up again. We like to see that too. So after the big bleed in June, looks like July is shaping up to be very positive. Looks like everything is shaping up to be very positive right now, in fact. And this is the amount of Bitcoin taken from the system yesterday, 2,061. That's nearly 5 times daily issuance of 450 Bitcoin. Remember, exchanges are running out. OTC has some balance. The miners have stopped selling. The next stage, once the Germans and the US government stop selling, and if there's a bit of Mt. Gox selling, the next stage will be up. When that happens, I don't know, 2 weeks from now, 1 month from now, 6 weeks from now, I expect good things to happen. This is Grayscale. Bang on trend, 0 day. We like to see that. Now we're getting to the stage where the days for Grayscale are either 0 or slightly positive, and that those two equate to the negative days. So again, the Bitcoin bleed, the Grayscale bleed is more or less over, which is a good thing too. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming. Hope you enjoy the show. Quick and dirty, the way you like it. Under 12 minutes. Thank you all for being here, and I'll be back a little bit later. Maybe with 2 things, because we have some breaking news too that we have to cover. And also, Tesla's on fire as well. Everybody's asking about that too. Thanks all for coming. See you later. Bye-bye. And thank you as well, Sean Donnelly, T&D Tesla, for keeping us all safe.